to see diversity in Canada, different cultures, different faiths represented in unity. My name is Whitney. I'm here, I want to share with you my reason for being here, because each of us have our own reason, right?
Exactly.
So I want to talk about my situation in life where the school system and friends indoctrinated me. I had a situation when I was a preteen where I was in a situation where a grown man attempted to take advantage of me. And it really did something to my heart. It put me in a place of trauma and fear towards men. And it wasn't until, a few years later, another situation happened. So I had this perverted view of men because I thought they were bad and I thought they weren't good because of the circumstances that I had gone through. So when I was in college in a sociology and human growth and development class, I had friends who were pushing me, saying, oh, you must be gay, you must be bisexual, you must be this because of the situations that you're in. But I wasn't born any other way than the way my Father in heaven made me. But I fell for that lie. I fell for the indoctrination that was heavily pushed down my throat. I spent a few years confused and not sure. It wasn't until I really looked into my own heart and realized I had to deal with the pain and the trauma of that abuse and what that did to my heart as a kid. So my reason for being here, it might be different than yours, but it's the same, that we need to protect our kids. We need to affirm their identity, that there is no mistake to who they are. God doesn't make mistakes when He creates us. And I want you to know, I'm also a city councilor. I am here to represent families just like you. I am here to say, you have a voice. I will make sure, at least in my municipality, in the city of Aurelia, I will make sure that my constituents' voices are represented. I was asked to attend this today from a constituent who said, please stand up. Will our councilors attend and defend the families in this area? And I said, absolutely I will. I encourage every one of you, municipal government is the easiest government to get in contact with. Today, make a point, email and call your city councilors, your mayor. Tell them, if you don't do something about this, I will not vote you back in. You're in there to be the representative of our voices. So I thank you guys, and I just want to say, God bless you all, God loves you, and listen, there's people here who don't see the same side of us. And if there's one thing I know, when I was in that time of vulnerability and confusion, I was susceptible to being hurt. We have a responsibility to love each other. Yes. Biblically, the greatest commandment we can have is to love each other. So we can have differences of opinions, but we can speak with love and with kindness. And we can hear people. If there was one thing the Christian organizations did to me, was no one ever said, did anything happen to you? No one ever heard my heart. They just condemned me for what I was doing. So I just encourage you, love on people. You don't know their situation. So I encourage you to just love on people. God bless you guys.
Yeah, the feedback. Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Mark Trozzi, and it's nice to see a lot of the same faces who fought against the COVID agenda. And first of all, I just want to say God bless you all of our family, our Muslims, our Indigenous, our Christians, our Jewish, our Buddhists, our humanists, our philosophers, everyone who believes in the golden rule, which is to do unto others, or to be kind. It's been articulated by everyone from Muhammad to Jesus, and we live that way, and that's why we're here. Now, I just want to say one thing, because so many good things have been well said, so I'll be brief, which is all these agendas, and by that I mean the COVID agenda, and by that I also mean the sexualization of children and the promotion of transgenderism to our children. These are not local issues. This is a global agenda.
Exactly. That's right.
The Cabinet of Canada, more than half the Cabinet are World Economic Forum trained. The World Economic Forum and the World Health Organizations are the most destructive institutions in the world. They dress like sheep, but they are wolves. And I want to just read something, and this is from the World Health Organization, so you won't know I'm exaggerating. This is from a World Health Organization, the same one that forced the injections, the same one that forced the lockdowns, the same one that wanted to inject your kids, the same ones that made us sick, the same ones that locked down our businesses and put people out of business. Sure, okay. Thanks, I'm just being positioned. So this is from the World Health Organization, and this is their document called Standards for Sexual Education. This is from Europe, but this is global. I'm going to read their words, not mine. Number 1, according to the WHO, children between 0 and 4 years old must learn about masturbation and develop an interest in their own bodies. The World Health Organization says children between 4 and 6 years must learn about masturbation and be encouraged to express their sexual needs and wishes. The World Health Organization says children between 6 and 9 years must learn about sexual intercourse, online pornography, having a secret love, and self-stimulation. And the same World Health Organization says children between 9 and 12 years old should have their first sexual experience and learn to use online and pornography. We know, to hell with the WHO, we know wisdom, all of our prophets, all of our philosophers, all of our histories, wisdom, protect their innocent.
Exactly.
Let children, as they mature, let them have real love. Let them have a family. Let them be stable. When you hypersexualize anyone, you destroy their ability to bond. So we're not only together as Muslims and Christians and Indigenous and Jews, we're also all people of colors, all countries in the world. We must abolish and destroy the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum. And we must root the parasites that are their agents in our institutions out and into prison. God bless you all.
You've gotten to know me as Dr. Killian from Homestead. So this morning I'm not speaking about my court case and the fact that I'm still fighting for freedom of speech. As a Canadian citizen, we're still fighting for the right to privacy. But this morning I showed up for 2 reasons only. And the first is that I am a daughter of the Most High King, and it's my responsibility towards Him that I'm showing up. And the second one is that I'm a mother of 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters, and that's what I will be speaking about today.
Excuse me.
My first part, as a daughter of the Most High,
He's been home
I want
7
to
years.
say a message.
And then they say,
Not
we're
to the
sorry
ones
for what
standing
we
in
did
front
to
of
your
me,
son.
to the ones that showed up with masks because they're afraid to show their identity, and even the ones standing behind them, the hidden agenda and the indoctrination that is happening. The warning does not have to come from me. I serve a very loving and just God that shows love and respect and acceptance. But my God, Yahweh Elohim, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is a jealous God when it comes to His property. And my children belongs to me and to Him only. There is one quote that I'm going to read that can serve as a warning, not from me, because my warning means nothing. The only responsibility I have is towards my sons and daughters. But this message reads as such. It comes from Matthew 18, verse 5 and verse 6. And this loving God can be seen with righteousness and wrath when it comes to our children. And it says, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. You do not get it more clear than that. We are from every single denomination, we are from every faith here today, but on that I do believe we can agree. And when it comes to the issue of today, of hands off of our kids, let it be very clear that any gender discussion that is had with a minor that is not your son or daughter is not gender ideology, it is gender indoctrination under the guise of gender chaos. Our education system has been in trouble for a long time. A lot of parents only woke up during COVID because they were able to see what their kids were being taught in schools for many, many years. Start expecting more from your teachers, from your principals, from your school boards. They are there to teach them 1 + 1 is 2.
I care about everyone in this crowd. I care about the health and safety of everyone here today. Let's continue to be peaceful and helpful to each other. Let's realize that as doctors, we had an obligation to help whoever's in front of us. As parents, we have an obligation to help everyone in our family. We cannot be kept away from the safety and the health decisions of our children. The health decisions of our children up to the age of 17 is in the hands of the parents, as it should be. And decisions about how to treat medically. The child of 12 is not aware of what is safe for them and what is not. Only between the doctor and the parent are the people who can make that decision. And I implore the government to stop letting people who are not doctors and who are not the parent, they are being allowed to have control over such things. We ask for the... So we just politely, but also strongly ask, let things go back to normal in our country. Doctors and parents must be allowed to work together for the health of the young ones, whether to get a blood transfusion or not, whether to have an operation or not, whether to have their body parts changed or not. That should be the decision of doctors and parents, not bureaucrats. So thank you everyone, I respect everyone. I respect the gay, trans and lesbian community of Canada. I just invite everyone to keep their peace and let parents be who they are. Parents, they should be involved.
Well, at one point I decided to take a little bit of a break from listening to the speakers, and I took a little walk around, and I noticed quite a few policemen had gathered and apparently had put up a barrier with their bicycles. That's what they did for the counter-protesters. They were on the other side of the bicycles, and there was a small crowd of counter-protesters that had amassed. I later heard on the radio that someone said that they outnumbered the protesters 5 to 1, and I didn't see it that way. I think the protesters outnumbered the counter-protesters 5 to 1. But it's usual, it's a matter of projecting an image that one wants to project, and of course the media is encouraging and agreeing and saying that the protesters are hateful and they're a terrible group and they're far right and so on and so forth. Once again, I didn't see any issue. Now, this is a Canada-wide event and there could be problems in other cities and towns, but there was none where I was. And they did their utmost to keep this a peaceful protest, and there were even people who were making sure to de-escalate anything that was, potentially happening. I watched people say, pull away, don't engage. And I also watched other people on the protester side cleaning up after those, like literally picking up all the garbage and tidying up. So I thought that they were well organized, behaved crowd, and I saw no issues, and I saw no hate, and I saw no nastiness. So people can say what they want, and I suppose that people will always project what they want onto another group, and they don't want to listen, they don't want to hear, and they don't want to suggest that perhaps somebody else has got a different opinion as well, and a right to that opinion, and there's some validity to it as well. So unless people learn to sit down and talk instead of just demanding that their own position is the only position, well, we're going to have a lot more of these. And I don't think that this is the end of these protests. I suspect that they will continue to grow and develop until people are heard. And this lady here wanted me to make sure that I read her sign, and so I definitely consented to do so. That was fine. I have no issue with that. And today was one of those days where people of all different faiths gathered together to achieve the same ends. They all have a lot of concerns about the way their children are being educated, and they came out to make sure that both the government, the media, and everyone else knew what their concerns were and to make their voices heard. There will be differing media opinions. Now, these gentlemen here are praying. There were people praying, and of course they were being mocked by the other side, but that's to be expected as well. Okay, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. I'm going to run a little bit video beyond this, but there'll be no commentary. I'll just put a little bit of music to it. So that's it for my day, but this is just a little visual to let you see how this event went. And I know we're going to hear a lot of stories about what happened Canada-wide. Anyway, have a great day, everyone.